All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, good evening. And thank you so much for joining us. I was just running in the house, literally, like getting myself together. I hope you guys had a great Wednesday. I'm excited because today I'll be talking to Kristen Dufauchard, who is the founder of Akrewe, an amazing community building organization here in New Orleans. She's such a sweetheart, such an amazing founder. I don't know how she pulls us all together for these amazing events. I hope you've been to one. If you haven't, you're missing out. You got to come check one out. We just got to try one recently. What's up, Matt? Just got to do a pitch competition at one of her recent events. So I'm excited to have her join us. So she can tell us all about what Akrewe is all about. We can get some marketing tips, learn a little bit more about what's coming up next for her, and just kind of what she's building and how we can help her as a community to bring more people to her events and pitch competitions and things like that. I know for me as a founder, one of the first things I did when I was trying to start Bayou was find local founders, local women, local startup training programs, because I did not go to like business school. I didn't get an MBA. I got my minor degree in business, but I didn't pursue an MBA. I went and got my master's degree in social work. And my bachelor's degree in communications. Yeah, communications. And so it's really great when you get to learn from each other and learn from each other's strong points. So she is really strong in marketing. Here, let me plug my phone in so it does not die. So she's got a lot of good tips for us. So she'll be joining us soon. I can give you a few little updates. So we have a really cool announcement that we'll be sharing this month. We're in October. Right. Got it. This month. And I hope y'all check us out. So please, check out Bees Bayou's page. We've been trying to share some fresh content. It's the content thing is just crazy. So I'm very grateful that I have an amazing social media person, Ashlyn. She lives in my hometown. She's not originally from Lafayette, but she lives there, and she really understands our mission, our goals, the education that we want to provide. And so I absolutely love that about her. So I'm just waiting on Kristen. Let me see if I can give her a shout. I know she is on deck, going to join us so we can learn more about her. So I just sent her a little invite, and I look forward to catching up with her. What else is new with Beast Bayou? So this month is actually Eczema Awareness Month, because, of course, I have eczema. You can't kind of tell along my hairline right there. I have seborrheic dermatitis, and so I'm used to it. It's kind of like my norm. The one thing that I could not get used to was the itch, which is something that was one of the main catalysts as to why I created Beast Bayou, and also hair loss. I wasn't doing it. I don't have the time. So we'll be talking a little bit about some skin health. We have an amazing dermatologist or trichologist that we'll be interviewing this month too. So I look forward to that. So I am just waiting on Kristen. Okay, awesome. So let me see if I can send a little. All right, there we go. I think I got it. My bad. I've been traveling all day. This morning I went to Baton Rouge, and then I had to drive to Lafayette, and I'm just getting home. Hey, ma'am, what's up? How are you?
Hello, hello. How are you?
I love the curls. I love
Oh,
the
thank
puff. It is puffing. It's so cute. I have never seen you with your shades on.
oh,
I mean, with your frames.
yes, these are my blue light glasses because I'm looking at the
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
I cannot find somewhere in this office, I'm guessing, or in my house somewhere, are my glasses from when I was like in 8th grade,
Oh, wow.
and they're blue frames, but they're shaped like diamonds, like they're like triangle,
That's
or I guess,
adorable.
yeah. they're adorable, maybe at some point in time, but I'm just like, so nobody in middle school was gonna tell me that like they're so kooky. They look so kooky.
Oh, I love it though.
But they're cute. But no, I appreciate you hopping over. I'm sorry about that. I originally we were doing our live chats on Riverside,
Okay.
but Riverside, hey, what's up? But yeah, Riverside was just constantly having issues with Instagram cutting our faces off, and I was like, we just not gonna do it. So we'll repurpose it. But how are you? How was your day? How's your week so far?
I'm doing well. I'm coming off still the celebration of the 2-year Akrewe anniversary. Finally getting some
Yes.
in, which I know we'll probably talk about a little bit today in our conversation, but I feel
Really?
great. I feel great.
That's good. Did you get some rest?
I did. I had to make myself rest.
You see my face.
I did. Oh, no screen day, which is huge for me.
Oh, that's good. You know what's interesting about that? We'll talk about that. Like, I love that. Yesterday I was like, my thing lately has been not over scheduling myself basically like in a day, because I'm one of those people who likes, I can be very productive and it's just boom 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 boom, and I don't really think about it until I looked at my planner and I was like, who is this human? Like, why, what is all this stuff that you do? So I was like, maybe I can take a break from the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, my I didn't have a headache, but when you can feel like that tension starting to rise. As
Yeah.
soon as I closed the computer, the tension kind of went away, and I was like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, so I need that. So how often do you? She says she needs that too.
I
How
know what
often
else
do you do that? Do you do that like often?
No, so that's the thing. I don't do a lot of screen days, but I'm integrating that into my self-care routine because one thing I've been trying to do is reposition or reimagine what self-care looks like to me. And I know it can't just be my full
Mm-hmm.
bag of champagne, which I do like,
Yeah.
but the no screen days have actually been just trying to unplug in general. It's difficult, but when I do, I
Mhm.
never.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm gonna adopt that. I have
I,
to. I don't know what day I can make it work,
you,
but I have to do maybe
it's
Sunday. I don't
you
know.
have to force the day.
He said, "My life is a screen. I am a screen."
Yes, yes, sis. That's I feel like, but that could be a good thing, right? We could be walking around radiating light. I'm gonna choose to
You
look
know,
positive.
I I like that. I like that. That's a great take on it. I am radiating light. Therefore, yeah, I like. See, so, okay, so tell us about Akrewe. How did you get started? Tell us about
Yes.
yourself. Like, how did you merge the worlds of everything you love? Hey, mom. Everything you love with community, building, everything.
Yes. So thank you again for having me, Arielle. My name is Kristen Dufauchard. I'm the founder and CEO of Akrewe NOLA. We're located right here in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are a marketing firm that connects brands to their audiences. So we primarily work with colleges and creatives. And our marketing and networking platform is for businesses that are innovative and creative, and we bring them together to grow and scale their endeavors. So, what that means is we hold an event series here in New Orleans where we connect underrepresented entrepreneurs together to connect and collaborate, to join their services, and go further together.
So, what made you want to start such an endeavor?
That is a great question. So, I've always been hilarious. I've had the nickname Networking Nancy since I could remember.
That's
Um,
cute. That's cute.
had a stranger in my life, stranger danger. I don't know that that was, but also I'm from New Orleans, where literally people will walk up to you, ask your life story, and they'll keep going.
Uh-huh.
Like they'll ask anything about yourself, and you're instantly family here in New Orleans. So
Mhm.
I just wanted to connect people. I moved back home from New York. I had been pretty much away from New Orleans since I left for college in 2005 and excuse me, 2006. And I came back and said, where's everyone? What are we doing? Where are my folks that have the drive and ambition moving New Orleans forward? And so I started just gathering folks together myself. We started with happy hour and it's grown into a 200 plus networking event where we have headshots and prizes, and
Yeah.
most recently a pitch competition where Akrewe is investing in local businesses.
That's amazing. So what year did you start?
We started in 2022.
Wow.
So right at the tail end of the pandemic where people were really craving this in-person interaction.
Yeah.
And people were ready to start getting their businesses back up and running. So we wanted to give them a safe space to be able to either start an idea or expand on an idea they had started in the pandemic.
So is this something that you've done in New York and you wanted to kind of bring to New Orleans? How did you know, like, this is my niche? This is like what I am a star at?
So,
Because you're good at
well,
it.
I let God guide my steps. The universe sent me in one way and I stopped fighting it. And I didn't know why, for some reason, I felt compelled to be a hostess. I was like, that's not a real job, Kristen. Like, that's not a real, you can't be a hostess. But what I could do was create a space where I could connect other people depending on what they needed and what others offered. So that's what I ended up doing. We did this quite a bit when I was in New York. There are business resource groups, employee groups, affinity groups that would just get together and just ask, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? Those are the three questions we'd always ask because we're trying to figure out how we can connect people, get them to the next opportunity so people can reciprocate that same thing to us.
And that's what I see happening. Like, you guys are killing it. Because I feel like for a city to really, we talk about how Louisiana doesn't always foster like the entrepreneurial spirit amongst all of its talent. There's pockets of talent that stick together and they help each other grow, and there are pockets of talent that are scattered. And I feel like with young Black entrepreneurs, we tend to be more scattered because we don't necessarily know where we can find like-minded individuals outside of maybe our church group, our friend group, who we work with. And there are a lot of people who are kind of working in solitude, um, who need to get the heck out of the house and go meet other people, right? And like, go, you're not alone. There is help out there. There are resources from people who will identify with you, um, either way, but will identify with you and support you from beginning through your journey, you know? So I love the fact that you're filling a void, I feel, not only for our local area, but to me, the state, because people can see what you're doing, and I don't know if the right word would be replicate, but maybe get inspired by it, and bring people. Yeah, she is amazing, absolutely amazing. Peopling in general is not everybody's favorite cup of tea, and you are a peopler, and you're bringing people together and making us feel comfortable too. Like, the spaces that you create are comfortable. So how much thought goes into that part, like making the spaces inviting, inclusive, yeah, and spaces where people want to come back over and over again?
Yes, that's a great question. And I will say there's a lot of thought that goes into making sure that our spaces feel safe. That's one big thing with the Akrewe events that we want to make sure, because a lot of us have felt what it feels like to be the only in a room, right? The only woman, the only Black person, the only queer person, the only person that may have a disability.
Yeah.
You know what like, and I don't ever want to be responsible for making someone feel that way. So a lot of feedback I've gotten is that, Kristen, it comes from the top. You're so welcoming and inviting. I literally, my mom used to say I would talk to paint drying, which is probably, but I just find that it's always comforting when people feel like they are able to approach anyone in the room. And I try to do that with the facilitation of our networking games, with trying to make sure that there are prompts available so we don't have to all just talk about the weather, that we can discuss, so that way we get down to, sure, we know each other from a personal connection, but then we move on to the business. How can we help one another grow and move New Orleans forward? And I wanted to just make a point. You mentioned about what we're doing for the state. So we're starting locally, absolutely. And the event just happens to be held here in New Orleans, but we are really trying to change the way networking is done across the country. We're
Right.
starting with New Orleans, and we are inviting a lot of our friends from neighboring cities and states to come in and partake in this magic that really happens at our crew events. You know, I mean, there's just so much opportunity in those pockets. I just don't want people to miss the information that's available from someone else. I know, for example, you and I have shared different pieces of information about contacts that we need to know or opportunities that are coming up. And that's just so important to share information back and forth. And that's why I just want people to come in together and talk.
Right. I love it. And I love that it's just the beginning and you're already doing so much and you're bringing in partners. So that's a really big piece because not only for the type of startup that you're working on and organization that you're building, but even for the everyday founder who's got like a product or a service, like one thing that they do,
Mm-hmm.
having really key partners is so important. And you're bringing in the city. Like, how did you get them involved? How did you like? I am sure they get requests all the time, and we know how special you are. But I don't know what's the special sauce that you were able to secure, like really key, amazing partners to bring in to help build the community around, and to me, give you that stamp. Like, we trust Kristen. Like, how did you do that? And how can others? How can others as well?
Yes, that's a great question, Arielle. I would say the biggest thing is you have to have this belief in yourself that is unlike any other. I said I was going to start a networking platform that enabled underrepresented entrepreneurs to have a space to make sure that they were successful, and not only were they, but everyone around them. So I do my networking thing. I go up to strangers, I talk to people, I
Yep.
I tell them what my business is, and I make sure that they know that this work is important to me. It is important to the city, and it is important to our community. And so when I go and I'm pitching, and I just want to make sure everyone knows, talking about how you can do this for yourself, a pitch is always available. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, it can easily turn into a pitch. And once you figure out how to master that in a way that comes off in a very conversational way, you found the key.
Yes.
And a lot of that is just about relationship building. That's something that I've always been very interested in, and made sure that I was very careful with my relationships. I think that's super important because people can speak your names in rooms. People can speak your name in rooms that you didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know existed, because of the way you made them feel, because of a conversation you had, because you let them in on some information. And bringing it back to why I'm trying to get people in the room to talk. Information sharing is one of the most important things that we could ever do. It
Yes.
truly is. So telling people what's happening, talking about my business, talking about our community, making sure that people know we exist,
Yeah.
and being very clear about how they can
Yeah.
support us.
Yeah. And I like that piece. First, what you said, and Liana said it too. A pitch is always available. Like, listen, you never know. You never know. Sometimes people are quietly observing, but they're
Mm-hmm.
taking notes and they're going to follow up and they want to see, because especially with the work that you're doing, character is so important. So sometimes people don't want to immediately jump in and say, "Yes, we're ready." But when they see that consistency, that work ethic, and the fact that you even had the guts to walk up to a stranger, shake their hand, introduce yourself, and say, "This is what I'm doing. This is why it's important. This is what you can do to be a part of something important."
Mm-hmm.
um I just feel is incredible, and I feel like it makes people feel like, oh, you stand out. Because I don't know if it's the social media thing or what it is, and I talk to millennial age, we're not old, whatever, but like, we have this thing where you look a person in the eye when you speak, you shake a hand, you introduce yourself. Like, there are certain core, communication skills that sometimes I don't know if our new generation of, not all, obviously there are some amazing kids, I'm like, God, y'all are impressive, you know so much and you can do so much, but there are some core foundational things where I'm like, you do realize, like, all you had to do was introduce yourself, smile, and ask. Like, you and that would even help you stand out. So I love that you said that. When you talk about pitching, oh no, not my own. Listen, listen. I'm 35 proudly, not, and it's not old, but y'all know what I mean. There's a thing. I don't know what that gap is, but there's the in-person contact. Yes,
Yeah.
in-person contact goes a long. Yes, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Very, very,
In-person contact goes a long way. You talked about the pitch. Can you kind of break down just a little bit further for people, like even, quickly, what that looks like? Is it like showing data about the problem? Is it your background and your professional background? Like, what are some of those tidbits that you share that you feel like really get people's buy-in when you're looking for collaborators and partners?
yes. So when I'm doing a pitch, the number one thing that I always do is start with my why. So just a little background about me. I have about 13 years of experience in marketing in higher education spaces. So that's where I started my career. And I truly believe, like I said, information sharing is the key to success, literally changing the trajectory of your life. And my students, I would always share this video by Simon Sinek called Start With Why. And some entrepreneurs, if you've heard of it, let me see you put an emoji in the heart. If you haven't
Yeah.
up tonight, look at his TED Talk, and he talks about why you should start with the why. You should always lead people with your purpose. Don't start with, I need you to buy something, I need you to give me money, I need you to shout me out. No, you move them with your purpose. And when I tell people that New Orleans is over 65% African American, but we make up for only, I want to say 24% of businesses, and we take up only 2% of the sales tax, the sales receipts of.
Wow.
So this was,
Really?
yes, this was published by the New Orleans, is it the Startup Foundation that's done by Tulane? They do this report every year. And I was shocked when I saw those numbers. And I knew for me there was something that I wanted to see change. As an entrepreneur, one of the few entrepreneurs in my family, I'm figuring this out on my own, and I want to have a community behind me that
Mhm.
can support me, cheer me on, because it gets very lonely. It gets
Yes.
very, entrepreneurship can get very hard. It can get time consuming,
Yeah.
but if you're driven by purpose and you bring other people in with that purpose, it's so much easier just to let the conversation flow from there, because they see how genuine you are and what moves you. And if there's a connection there, that's
Yeah.
all she wrote. That's it.
That's so real. And alignment is so key from your team to your, I mean, you can find people who are talented pretty much anywhere. But if they're not aligned in values, if they're not aligned in like that energy and that work ethic and that mindset, you are a distraction. You gotta go. You know what I mean?
Gotta go.
You got to go. Yes, storytelling. It's all about telling that story. And I love how you said starting with your why and really bringing in some of the numbers and the data,
Yeah.
especially, you're bringing in big partners. They want to hear that, whether or not they want to hear that you've done your research and you know what you're talking about and you know the problem that you're trying to solve. And that is clear. When you're working with your team, because you have an outstanding team,
Thank
and that is always, yes, y'all are amazing. When you were thinking of the talent that you needed to bring in to build a team, which is something that I have had to go through with. I'm so grateful now that I have women around me that I'm working with, and not that it was purposefully all women, it just happened that way, but they work with heart. You know what I mean? Like they work with heart. And it took some trial and error with some folks coming in and out, but
you.
I feel like that's why I'm working my butt off to keep them, because I'm like, it's hard to find
Yes.
y'all. When building your team, what are some of the things that you look for, or what are some of the things that made you know that y'all had a good glue, and some tips for looking for, you know, like-minded people to build a team?
Yes. So building a team, I think, is very important in any business. Your team can make or break you, right? They can make your work easier, or they can make your work 10 times harder. And I have some of the Akrewe team in that
Yes, hey y'all.
here. But I think the biggest thing for me is, will I have a thought partner?
Mm,
I
mm,
surrounded by people that are just going to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I need
yes.
people that are going to challenge me, people that are going to ask me, like someone asked, if we're not talking about numbers, does it make sense? Does it make sense for us to invest our time, our money, and our resources in? And if it does not, we need to move on. So I think that's the biggest thing, is having people around you who are not just going to listen to what you tell them to do. I mean, if I just wanted people to just churn out work, I could, that's easy to do. But people who I put on my team are people whose opinion I value, who can give me insight and different perspective. And they also challenge me when I decide to make a pivot. Why are we making this pivot? Is it intentional? Is it purposeful? And then once we determine that it is, how do we move forward?
Listen, when you write your book, okay, when you write your book, you just remember us, okay? You just remember us. That is a word. I love that. People who will not just tell you what you want to hear, will not just agree to agree. I feel like that is one of the biggest when somebody pushes back, my ears perk up.
Mm-hmm.
My ears perk up. I want to hear, even from our product. I don't have them here in front of me. I would show y'all, but like when we get little product samples or whatever, I'll send them to our team. That might not be your job. I don't care. I want to see if you're going to really tell. Because if I didn't like it, I want to see if you're going to like it. I want to hear. I want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that pushes us too as founders. Listen, exactly. I want my autograph copy too. I feel I feel like that hey, what's up? Hello. Yes, we're gonna talk about this pitch competition. Don't go anywhere. I feel like it pushes us too, because you want to show up for the people who are showing up for you, and you want to give them some challenge. Sometimes I want to give you something challenging. Like I want you to know that I trust you with hard things, that I don't only trust you with the easy, quote unquote, stuff. I trust you with, you got that. You know what I mean? And building that trust in with your team. I love what you mentioned about how did you say it? Think partners?
Yes, my thought
Thought
partners.
partners. Yeah, like I can't be the only one who's strategizing, and sometimes you do have to bring in that strategy person. But as a team, y'all need to tell me if it's ugly. It's ugly. You better tell me it's ugly.
And you
Don't have me going out here crazy.
say that in a way that's respectful, but I think
Yes.
that with the team having thought partners, that's how they add value.
Yeah.
Of course, be transactional with the work getting done. We can do the payments. That's great. But to really have someone, I think that's a part of your team, they are going to challenge you and make sure that you are thinking through every step that you're taking. When I introduced
Right.
that pitch competition to my team that you mentioned, the first question was why? What is the purpose? Why
Mm-hmm.
is? And for me to then go back to leading with my purpose is that we ultimately want to help entrepreneurs in New Orleans grow. So we wanted to be able to invest in what was happening in other people's businesses. So that was the biggest thing. And my team definitely made me think through why we were doing this. And then we moved forward and implemented.
Well, y'all did a great job. So let's talk about this. When you are formatting your events, strategizing your events, I know marketing is your bread and butter, and like your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What are some tips for the everyday founder, whether even if you're product based, service based, that you could recommend for, like, what's that key to make sure that your marketing really hits?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many strategies and things that we could do, but how do you make sure, or you increase your chances that your marketing will really hit that target you're trying to reach?
So marketing for me is part of the reason why I went into marketing. I'll just go back a little bit, is because I am a very passionate person. When there is something that I like, I really like it. And I shout it from the rooftops and tell everybody else why it's amazing, why this is wonderful, why they should buy it, why they should try it, why they should meet this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I could find a career in that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
for me, it's about being passionate about whatever it is I'm talking about. So that brings it back to your why. Again, if you haven't seen that Simon Sinek TED Talk, please go watch it. It's called Start with Why. It's
Put
absolutely
it in
amazing
here.
because now you have a passion-driven marketing campaign. So everything we do with Akrewe, it brings it back to one thing, and that is our community. Because we want our community to grow. When one of us grows, we are all growing. When one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And so being able to create a space where opportunities are happening, people are collaborating, they're partnering their services, they're going after contracts together. You know, people are able to refer one another. You know, I had a question the other day. Someone asked, "Can you refer a cookie company to me that can make custom tooth-shaped cookies?" I was like, I have no idea, but let me lean on the community and ask.
Yeah.
Someone asked me for a black they wanted a person of color that was in physical therapy.
Mm.
One second, let me lean on the community. And that's something that Akrewe wants to be able to do is connect people.
Yeah.
You know, we do it in person, but that only happens once a quarter. So how can we utilize our digital community to connect one another with opportunities and resources so that we all can move forward together?
That's amazing. So with the pitch competition, what was the catalyst that like put that on your heart? Because the why is we got it. It hit. What
Mhm.
put that on your heart? Because it was amazing. Like I enjoy
Thank
just
you.
meeting entrepreneurs, like, you know, because we need each other. Like I get tired of being in just my office. Like I want to meet other energized people. That's how I grow too. So what made you want to do that? And are you going to do them again in the future?
Yes. And yes. So I was inspired. I participated in my first pitch competition. Was this last year now? No, it was in the spring.
Okay.
So I had an amazing experience. It was just getting in front of a room full of people, talking about Akrewe, being excited about what we were doing and what we were building for New Orleans and for our community. It was so invigorating to me. I was like, now I have all of these people who can now become advocates for my brand
Yeah.
because they now know and understand what I'm doing and what my goals are and how I plan to grow in the next few years.
Yeah.
So I want that opportunity to other people in the Akrewe community. So I said, okay, let me run it by the team. Let me run it by some partners and see if we can get some funding. And just like that, it happened.
Yeah.
And well, it's not quite just like that.
Not like overnight.
If anyone has ever planned an event, a wedding, a birthday party, whatever, you know that events just don't happen overnight. But it was just moving with that intention of me having that experience and wanting to replicate it and really provide an opportunity for people from New Orleans to eventually start to compete on national stages. You know, being able to say, I started here, I got feedback from some judges, like Arielle was one of our judges for our first
It
pitch
was so
competition, to be
fun.
able to come in as a coach and really share tips and some critiques on how they could get better and make people feel empowered to now go after these national competition seats.
Right. And I feel like that was for me personally, like that first one was with Black Girl Ventures for me because it was during COVID. So like everything was pretty much virtual. When you get that first one out of your system, you're like, oh, that was kind of exhilarating. Like I could do that again. Like I could totally do that again. And you do want to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, you are inspired to like, okay, now I got some feedback because I know my first pitch deck even. Oh my god, I just oh my god, it was so bad. It was so bad.
I'm sure it was not
It
that
was bad.
good.
I still have it. I think I'm pretty sure I still have most of them, but oh my god, it was so bad. But you continue to, like you said, you get that feedback, you revise, you keep going. It never ends because who you're pitching to, the audience, you know, it changes,
Mhm.
right? So like your pitch changes, the timing that you have changes. So your storytelling will change.
Yep.
What you said in 5 minutes for that pitch, you might only have 30 seconds in another pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So you, like you said earlier, when you're pitching, sometimes it's conversational and the other person, unless they've been pitched to many times, might not even know they're getting pitched to, like, because you're so used to dropping those gems in a very natural way. You know what points you're trying to hit,
Yep.
you know. But I love that the big goal is also to like make people kind of put some attention on what, yes, I laugh at myself all day.
Hey,
It's
I
that
love
you can bring that attention to what you're doing locally and the entrepreneurs. And someone in the comments, I'm gonna scroll back up, at Joe_Bell said, love the pitch competition. I feel like I learned so much about some Black owned businesses and what they're offering to the community. And that's what it's about, you know, and you did that. Like your team, Akrewe, y'all did that. You know, what's been the highest high for you so far? Like as personally or with Akrewe, like what's been the highest high?
I would say some of the highest highs for me have been when people come back and tell me what Akrewe has done for them. And I always lead with a joke and tell them, okay, can you put that in like a recording, or can you video that for me, or can we do an interview? Because I just want other people to help tell the story that I'm telling, right? How this is affecting, changing their business strategies, their growth strategies, how they're relationship building. But when people come back and tell me, specifically, I had a young lady that was a part of our holiday market last year. So every year we do 4 events, and our last one is right around the holidays, and we try to incorporate local businesses that can sell their items to the Akrewe community. So they have an opportunity to get their brand in front of people and actually make sales, right? And so there were just so many people that were so thankful to be able to not only talk about their brand, but actually see people in real time, make custom tumblers or sample sea moss, or, you know, be able to spray on the scents that they had
Yeah.
homemade. So I feel like, to me, it's always amazing to see when other people's dreams come to fruition and they say that that was because of Akrewe. You know,
Yeah.
that's, to me, it's touching because it's, like I said, I'm the marketing person. All I do is just brag about everybody from the community and talk about all the great things that are happening.
Yeah.
But when other people come and say, you changed my life, like I had people say that, I was like, what? I just put an event every now and then and like just shout it from the rooftops, y'all come.
Yeah.
But people have said their confidence has increased, just being able to talk to strangers, getting their elevator pitches together. They found
Yeah.
mentors and business coaches. It's just been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal, and it just reinvigorates the work that I do because it comes back to my purpose and why I'm doing it. I want us all to succeed. I'm from New Orleans. I love New Orleans. We have so much talent here, and I just want to spotlight it as much as I possibly can. The whole state and just everyone from the Black diaspora, if I really could. You know, if
Yeah.
there are partners out there, someone knows somebody that wants to sponsor an Akrewe event so we can continue to evolve and include more people, I would love that.
Yes. So y'all heard that. She said if we have any other partners, and we talked about alignment earlier, so y'all send her no raggedy partners, okay? We're talking about real partners. We gotta be specific. You know what I'm saying?
I
You gotta be
that
specific with these prayers.
being very,
Um,
very.
but yes, if you all know amazing partners who would be aligned with Akrewe, who want to see Black businesses, women-owned businesses, minority businesses, just all underrepresented businesses really win, really thrive, please connect Kristen, because I feel like that is a key, you know, and it can be hard. I'm sure that there are certainly days. Look, we got one right there. I met someone at the event there. Oh, that was so sweet. And started working with them on Sunday. Look at that. Boom and boom.
I
Another success
think it's
story.
not kidding. And one of my thought partners, okay, on the team and shows up faithfully at every
Yes.
event. Chelsea, we love you.
Yes. Yes. And I got to hit up Chelsea too, because I certainly need some creative services that she can offer us. So I didn't forget Chelsea. I did not forget.
You.
Another,
This,
yes, it's going to happen.
so I'm
I wanted
gonna
to ask you because
camera talking about that.
huh?
I'm gonna get y'all on camera talking about that.
Oh, of course. Of course. I got you. I know I'm holding you a little longer, so I'm going to try to wrap up. I know. So last month was September, which is self-care awareness, and
Mhm.
so we're kind of continuing those conversations about how entrepreneurs, how we are taking care of ourselves. We talked about not working completely isolated, you know, finding community even if it's one or two founders that you can have a text chat with or something. You need to be talking to somebody. Don't feel like you're working in a vacuum. You talked about collaboration and community and how important that is.
Yes.
On your hard days, like what are some of the things that you do for maybe rest or rejuvenation or balance? Like what do you do for you, not the community?
Or I'm laughing because most people find this to be very odd. But what relaxes me most is organizing my space.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to really rest, and usually on the no screen days, I am organizing something, whether it is like me taking everything out of my closet and then putting it back color coded, or
Wow. You want another closet to come color code?
I've got some requests to do closets, and I'm like, chat. I'll just say let's chat. It's something that brings me peace,
Yeah.
and I realized that that was my superpower. When someone told me that, they said, "Do you realize you organizing things is a gift?" Like I never thought about it that way. They said this need or this talent for you to take something that is in complete chaos and bring order to it is a gift.
Yeah.
A gift, and you need to walk in that. And I literally come into places, especially when in terms of marketing and strategy, I've been able to funnel that into what I do for work. It's something about seeing something and seeing its potential. I guess that's something I'll say. People like to say Virgos love a project. I am
That's
a Virgo. Giving Virgo
that's what
energy.
Chelsea just said. Virgo vibes. Y'all
Oh,
know each other well.
definitely Virgo vibes. I organize to relax, and just bringing peace and calm to the chaos is just something that I've leaned into as I've gotten older. And my birthday was a few weeks ago, and that's something I've just come to accept about myself. I bring peace and I bring light where I go. I really try to.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Virgo vibes. I'm a Aquarius sun, Virgo moon, and Cancer
Mm-hmm.
rising. I got all vibes going on.
Okay.
It's very vibey. Just on any given day, one of them will take over. It depends. We've got two moons apparently, so maybe my Virgo is taking over more. I don't know.
Maybe.
I get that. I get the wanting things to be in order and like clear your space. We got it. My mom says happy belated birthday. Yes, all the vibes. And shout out Rich by Proximity, you guys. She pitched amazing pitch. Also wellness, entrepreneur, self-care, all of the above. So y'all check her out too.
Yes.
So
Right.
yes, for
So
sure.
she was
Yes,
voted.
shout out all the pitch participants. Everybody is just killing it. I mean, like you said, the talent here is amazing. So before we wrap, can you please share what's next for Akrewe, and again, what you need from the community back? What's next, and how can we support, follow all of that?
Yes. So what's next for Akrewe is we are bringing back the pitch competition for our upcoming event for Q4. So that date will be announced very, very soon. We are excited to invite the community out to support us. We are working out our final details. And so we do encourage folks to pre-purchase their drink tickets. That really supports our small business, and it's a way for us to support the venues as well. And so we will be releasing dates for our next event, our pitch competition, applications opening, and we're hoping this time to do a call for some business coaches so we can help some of
Cool.
get some training as well that they can take with them to their next competition.
That's amazing.
So
Already. Look at her. Look at y'all.
we're
But
moving.
yes, but I like that because people are excited about it, and like they want to participate and they want to be a part of what's next. So
Love that.
and anything, where can we follow, where can we support?
Yes. Yes. So you can follow us at Akrewe NOLA. We are on Instagram and Facebook, and you can sign up for our newsletter at akrewenola.com, where you will get all of our event alerts. You'll get deadlines and dates. And we also will send surveys, because one thing I do want to mention is that we are evolving our events to meet our community's needs. So our surveys are super important to us. We read that feedback and we implement it into our events. My team knows I'm a data girl. What is it that we can be doing better? And we really listen to our team, our community, to tell us that, so our team can pivot as needed.
Yes. So follow at Akrewe, Instagram and Facebook. Look out for the upcoming pitch competition to be announced
Yeah.
soon. To be announced soon. And remember, she said, if you have any partners, maybe corporate partners, what other types of partners are you guys looking for? Well, let's throw that out there while we can.
Yeah. So we love corporate partners, community partners. These would be in terms of resources, financial help. We're also looking at anyone who may have a company that has a business resource group. We'd love to be able to chat with you, your HR team, how we can get them plugged in and really build a community and culture around our underrepresented corporate folks.
Perfect. Awesome. Kristen, I cannot thank you enough. Before I let you run away, before I let everybody run away, it is National Eczema Awareness Month. I got to throw that out there. So y'all go check out Bees Bayou if you're looking for any eczema relief. Okay. Just throwing that out there. Got to do my job. Okay.
Well, okay, because
my team is going to be like, why you ain't saying nothing
I
about us?
about skincare, because I was ready to talk about my good biome with
Your
my
skin
glow.
is glowing. I mean, you talked about when earlier we were talking about not having a lot of screen time, aka also being the screen, because we bring the light. So she is bringing the light. Okay, the skin is glowing. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Someone likes the shampoo and conditioner. Yay, that's a win.
Bayou has been a partner to Akrewe. I just want to shout that out. And we had folks that have won prizes from
Yay.
Bayou.
Yes, we got more. Yes, we got more. Y'all come get this product out of my house. But anywho, Kristen, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for what you're building, your team. Again, thank y'all. Shout out to y'all's team. Absolutely amazing at Akrewe. I'm looking forward to the next event, and we'll bring some more folks. I was trying to bring some folks this last one, but you know how we are sometimes with time management. I'm not going to call them out though, but that's okay. They're going to make it to the next one. They will. They will make it. Yes, Kenyatta. Yes, for beards. Yes, I got you. But yes, thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you so much. And like I said, I'm going to share this not only on Instagram, but you know, I got you on LinkedIn and everywhere else. And I'll send you clips and all the really cute stuff. So you do your marketing magic, but I'll send that to you.
Thank you, Arielle. I really appreciate you for having me, for having Akrewe, for letting us talk about what we're doing. And thank you for supporting us from the beginning. I really appreciate you, sis.
Listen, we all gotta win, okay? Period.
I'm the rider. Y'all coming or not?
Hey, pull up. All right, girl. Have a great evening. Thank y'all so much for your engagement tonight. We really appreciate y'all. Please, please, please like, follow, share, all the fun stuff.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Thank you.